Good evening, all. I am going to take some time from working on my other video projects, etc., and working on various things like trying to find work, etc., and prepping my next magic show, to talk about an issue that has come up in the media recently, both in Canada and the United States. Many of you who are following my YouTube channel in both nations are aware of the fact that recently a corporal got shot on Memorial Hill here in Ottawa, and there has been a rather large amount of sensational media in the United States about it, and a little bit more reserved media up here in Canada. Our Prime Minister has said that he is willing to give the security agencies all measures necessary to prevent the potential future terrorist attacks of this sort from happening on our shores. There has been some argument for expanded anti-terror laws and a number of other things. I want to be perfectly clear at this point as to what my concerns are. Number one, I am concerned that NDAA 2012, which was approved as constitutionally sound in 2014, and yes, you can find that online, the Supreme Court did in fact determine that the indefinite detention sections of that particular bill were constitutional in the United States. I'm worried that similar legislation may eventually be passed up here. I am also concerned that Canada may, from multiple fronts, be in danger of turning itself into a dictatorship de facto, if not de jure. And I'm highly concerned that this will be used as a misdirection from other more serious issues like climate change. When I say more serious, I mean more serious longer-term issues than like climate change, etc. And that business as usual will continue and potentially cause detriments for Canada. Now, I know there may be some out there who will call me an alarmist or say that how can I respond so cavalierly and calmly to a tragic event. Well, to answer your question, I do believe it is a tragic event. However, I want people to go back over my Facebook. My Facebook is linked through the About section of my YouTube channel here. And I want you to go back over all of the various links that I have shared over a wide range of issues over the past several years. This type of incident is by no means isolated. There are incidents of this sort that happen all the time around the world. And more often than not, how many times, like with Boko Haram, how many times do we actually do things like go out and actually stop those organizations and get girls who are kidnapped back for their families? How often do we deal with issues like climate change on a more serious event and actually start switching over to solar power? Instead of having people like Prime Minister Tony Abbott from Australia saying things like we will burn out the sun by converting entirely to solar power. My concerns are that we are going to allow this to become yet another misdirection. That we only respond in the moment and not think about the long term, nor do we think about other issues that may come up at the same time. By having all our attention, allow me to give you a practical example. My concern is that by deliberately doing something like this, if you picture that this is the shooter, you're paying attention over here. You're always paying attention over here, but end up completely ignoring the coin that's still over here. And by focusing so much on this and focusing so much on this hand, you will actually look where nothing is, and I can pull the quarter out from behind my ear, or I can pull the toonie out from behind my ear, or I can pull it out of my mouth, or I can have it back in the exact same pocket as before, and then just turn it into a quarter as a misdirection and basically show you a magic trick. I am worried that this shooter incident, along with some others, that this is an example of a larger stream issue that we are seeing in our mainstream media right now. We've been seeing it for years, but I'm worried that this, yet again, will become an issue that will hit us blindsided. For Canadians who are watching, I have an even slightly stronger concern. The federal election will be coming up for our Parliament again just this coming year. And I'm concerned that this sort of misdirection issue will be referred back to in a way of attempting to rig the elections or use attack ads to keep certain parties in power and even advocate stronger legislation. There was once a line from the much hated prequel movies of Star Wars that I thought was actually particularly appropriate to the current days. Padme Amidala, upon the Galactic Republic being destroyed and the Galactic Empire being formed because of a group of separatist rebel terrorists, for lack of a better word, said, "So this is how democracy dies, to thunderous applause." Well, I am highly concerned about this particular issue, and I'm concerned that this may be actually happening again. Or that when I say happening again, I mean we saw it once happen in fiction, and we've seen it happen in history and other democracies. I am concerned about the possibility that it may be happening here. And if it is, well, this is my voicing my concerns to say I told you so. Actually, I have someone in the background who had concerns about this exact same thing happening in the United States after 9/11.
Well, like I said, I was only 11 or 12 years old when it happened, but that's the exact sort of speech that George Bush gave, and we saw how badly that went.
Yeah, all the stuff about how to deal with the Patriot Act and then the new anti-terror legislation brought in afterwards. So yeah, you understand my concerns now, and you understand that while I view this as a tragic incident, I am worried about the larger term implications of this in the long run. Now, this is going to be my final piece on this, and I will link you to my Facebook page down in the description below, and conversely, I will be linking this video, once it's uploaded, on my Facebook page for everyone else on my Facebook page to see. Hopefully this will be my last thoughts on the shooter, and I won't be talking any more about this. But yeah, I'm hoping that some intelligent conversation will come out of this one way or another, and hopefully those of us who are the average day-to-day citizen will figure out how to address these issues, especially with an election coming up in 2015.
And protect our God-given rights and liberties in the process.
I couldn't have put it better myself. For fellow Canadians who actually can vote in the elections, I would highly advise this particular issue. You know, please be aware, especially what with things coming up. So do not get taken in by attack ads. If you see attack ads, please go out and vote for who you think might be the best party anyway. And as a matter of fact, if you actually see a potential candidate who might be a good idea, check for their track record and talk to them about some potential improvements.
You never know who a person really is until you've spoken to them in person.
And also with politicians, be aware that they will lie to you, so make sure that you follow up with them if and when they get elected. Anyway, I believe that pretty much says my piece on all of this issue. In the meantime, sayonara, and keep the dream alive.